Hello everyone. I have a total of 8 matches on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, that is on the 6th, 7th and 8th of October. Let's keep things a bit slow until the international matches start. Yesterday I gave out 8 matches. All of the daytime matches for members were successful. We went 5 for 5, but none of the matches in the public video were successful. Not only did none of them come through, there wasn't even a single goal in any of them. It was a strange day. Anyway, in any scenario where there's a Samsunspor vs Fenerbahce match, we had no chance of catching anything. Neither could Fenerbahce win, nor did any goals come. It was a strange day. For the international break, I set up a special offer on WhatsApp. 1 month from you, 1 month from me, valid until Friday. Those who want to join can message the number here within these 4 or 5 days to get information and join. Now, for those who join, I'm extending it until the end of November. I hope the international break goes well. As I said, let's continue at a slower pace for a bit. I have 3 matches for October 6th. There's the Vidovre Lyngby match. Both teams have been winning for 3 weeks. In terms of gameplay, the away team is more effective. However, focusing on goals here is always more logical. I went for over 2.5 goals. Let me remind you again, I'm not saying to bet over on every match after looking at the whole schedule. I'm only trying to evaluate the matches where I expect it to go over. Of course, there are also matches that will end under. There are also matches where I expect few goals, or in other words, not many goals to be scored. But as I said, this is my style. I just go for the goal and move on. If Samsun and Fenerbahce don't score, there's nothing we can do about it. If Nesli misses, if Samsun misses, if there's a penalty, if a goal is disallowed, there's nothing we can do about these things. I'm just sharing my opinions. My second match is Vitesse versus Den Bosch, and here I also went for over 2.5 goals. Especially this season, Den Bosch matches have been a goal fest. Vitesse is at the bottom of the league because of the penalty they received. However, they've won 3 of their last 4 matches. There could be a surprise here. I went for over 2.5 goals. There's also the Leonis versus Albacete match. Albacete had a terrible start to the season, but they've won in the last 2 weeks. The home team promoted to the league is doing well. They've secured some important wins. I've been watching Albacete since the start of the season. Their matches are high scoring. Even though the odds are always high, their games end up with lots of goals. Here too, I went for over 2.5 goals. On October 7th, there's the Grimsby versus Doncaster match. I went for over 2.5 goals. The away team hasn't won in 4 weeks. They actually started the season really well, but things have been going badly for them. They won their first match in the cup. Despite their poor performance in recent weeks, they could still cause problems here. I think it will be a high-scoring match, meaning both teams will score and the match will go over. I went for over 2.5 goals. There's the Salford versus Stockport match. It's a match between 2 teams winning first games. The Stockport match in particular ended with an interesting score, 5-3, and overall they're doing well in their own league this season. I'm expecting a high-scoring match here as well. There's the Stevenage versus Bromley match. Stevenage is doing very well in the league this season, and they're already at the top of the table. In the cup, they scored 5 goals away from home in the first match. Bromley's defense is already problematic. The first match also ended 3-3 if I'm not mistaken. I went for over 2.5 goals here. On October 8th, there's also the Yokohama vs Hiroshima match. Despite high odds, I went for both teams to score. Now Yokohama is doing poorly in the league, but I especially really follow all their cup matches. In the previous round, they knocked out Kobe, and in the round before that, they pulled off a surprise elimination. Sometimes when a team is doing badly in the league, they can focus differently on the cup. While things go differently in the league, they can really focus on the cup. There's still the return leg of this match to be played. Of course, Hiroshima can win here, but I think Yokohama will at least score a goal. I took both teams to score at high odds, and for the Kawasaki Kashiwa match, I also went for over 2.5 goals. 2 teams that are already in the title race in the league are facing each other in the semi-final. Here you can also go for both teams to score plus over 2.5 goals, so you can increase the odds with a combo or double bet. My preference is over 2.5 goals. I have a total of 8 matches. I'll write them all in the comments anyway. Vidovre Lyngby match, over 2.5 goals. Vitesse Den Bosch, over 2.5 goals. Leonis Albacete match, over 2.5 goals. Grimsby Doncaster match, over 2.5 goals. Salford Stockport match, over 2.5 goals. Stevenage Bromley match, over 2.5 goals. Yokohama Hiroshima match, both teams to score. And finally, I picked over 2.5 goals for the Kawasaki Kashiwa match as well. Let me remind you again, for those who want to join the WhatsApp group, 1 month from you, 1 month from me, I made it 4 or 5 days. Now I'm extending it for those who join until the end of November. I hope the international break goes well. At least until the international matches start, try to take it easy for these 2 or 3 days. You don't have to bet on every match. See you tomorrow.